bar exam. What the hell am I going to say about the bar exam? The bar exam sucked. It's, I remember, so it's 2 days. It's a morning, afternoon, and then the next day, morning, afternoon. They do it, it's in February and July. First day is your multiple choice. Second day is written. Multiple choice is much harder than the written, actually. At least that's what I thought. It's a lot more substantive. It was pretty rough. That bar exam sucked. I studied like 85, probably 85 hours a week for like 3.5 months straight. Like, there's just such a rough turnaround with the bar exam if you don't pass it, that like the fear is enough to just get you, because it's like it's you got to sign up for it, and it's expensive, and do the prep course and all that kind of stuff, and then you don't find out if you pass it for 3 months, or like if you some people unfortunately fail it, right? So if that ever happened, like you don't know for a few months, and you've got like 30 days between by the time you find out to like sign up for the next one. Then you got to pay like $2,000-3,000 for the next bar exam course. It's just brutal. No, I dominated on it though. I studied so hard. Again, fear is a powerful motivator. I don't know, man. Advice on that, on the bar exam, would probably be, I mean, it might apply to other areas as well. It probably does, right? Anything you want to get really good at. It's not a matter of just knowing something, just being smart and just knowing a lot of information. It's beating yourself over the head with something and doing it so many times, like thousands and thousands of times, that you can do it in your sleep, right? Like, some of the greatest fighters will tell you that, right? Like, they're not in their own head going, okay, I do this, that, and I react to this move. Like when you see like an MMA guy, no, like what they're doing is just automatic. It has to be automatic. It was the same thing with the bar exam. I had somebody give me I don't know, some kind of like one of those data sticks, and it had every bar exam, every uniform bar exam ever administered, and even like beyond that. Like I had like every bar exam that went back to like the 60s or 70s, and I took every single one, and I took them all at least 3 times, and I did them under time conditions. And then I had 2 bar exam prep programs that I was doing at the same time. I did them all the way 100%. And so basically by the time I took the test, I could read the first sentence and know where that question was going, skip the rest of it, look at the answers. You got 4 answers that I could eliminate 2 right away, look at the other 2, then go back up and finish reading it and select the answer. Because I knew I had done so much of it that I knew how it ate, slept, and breathed. And it was just automatic. So, I mean, there are certain areas where being smart isn't going to help you. The bar exam, everybody that takes the bar exam is smart. I don't know that you can really argue that, but it's a question of, really just putting in the time and getting enough reps and putting up some skins on the wall, man, that you can just do that in your sleep. You want my little bar exam story? Speaking of in your sleep, I fell asleep on the bar exam. I fell asleep for about 6 minutes. The reason I know it was 6 minutes, it felt like a lot longer. I hadn't been sleeping, right? So as we led up to it for like that last like couple of weeks, I was getting like 6 hours, then it was 5, then it was 4. Like I was just drinking just too much coffee and studying. So I didn't sleep the night before. I stayed at a hotel, thought I would get a good night's sleep, ate a nice steak. No, I was just studying like the whole time. And so day 2, I didn't fall asleep on day 1. Day 2, I mean, I'm just burnt. I fell asleep on the second half, and I know that I was asleep for 6 minutes because bar exams are always in like huge auditoriums, and ours was in like a convention center, and just rows and rows and rows of tables and hundreds of people. I don't know, maybe 1,000 people. I don't know how many people were there, but it was a lot. And so I was towards the front, and they have these huge digital clocks, enormous, so that everybody in the entire room can see them. And I was right in front of that clock, and it was in the written portion, so I'm like, and at some point just nodded out. What saved me, so everybody was spaced out about like 6 or 8 feet between you and the next person, and then there's proctors walking around. What saved me was, I feel really bad for this person, but it does happen, right? When you've got like 600 people taking a test, problems are going to happen, right? Technical issues and things like that. And you've got people to help you. The problem is that if you have a tech issue, like with your laptop, like you're not getting additional time. Like you're still held to it. So what happened was I was asleep. I woke up to somebody screaming. There was a girl next to me, her laptop had crashed and the software wasn't working. She threw her chair down, she was screaming. And I mean, this place is like, you could hear a pin drop, even though it's a convention center and there's probably, like I said, I mean, it had to have been 500-700 people, I don't know. And you can still hear a pin drop, and she starts screaming. She knocked a chair over. She slammed the laptop. Like she was going nuts. I don't blame her. And so that's actually what woke me up. And I woke up and I was like, oh, and I was like just nuts. And I just went at this thing. Luckily, had time to spare, but that's my story.